Let's talk about the elephant in the room I keep passing over. This beautiful red lady. And as you notice, it's if you're looking at this, this is quite different. She is, well, she's a big girl. She got hips. What cello is this?
I don't make them this red like this picture on your. I don't know where you got these pictures from, or at least it.
To me.
I gave them to you. I don't remember. Maybe I took them from another web page just to show you the difference, and I thought this is a good example. But the colors, even the yellow Stradivari like this, it's not exactly my colors I would prefer. But certainly, if you want a color like this, I can do it.
Tell us, this is a Montagnana, I believe.
That's the Montagnana. And the most famous Montagnana then is the Sleeping Beauty. So, but it's always the Montagnana, Domenico Montagnana from Venice, was working in Venice. This man was a lucky man. He was living and working in Venice, something I would love to do. You have to imagine that Montagnana worked very precise, at the point that you even find very often nowadays an original Stradivari cello with a Montagnana scroll. So that shows already that the way Montagnana was working was already very precise. The model itself, the body, you can see that it's like the C's smaller and pulled out, okay? So it's kind of strange, the shape. It's not so equilibrate. I can understand if somebody says it's not so beautiful.
On the naked eye, the untrained eye, very much you can tell that is a much wider instrument. And it is the sound that we're looking for. It is this modern, I consider it the modern sound of the cello. And people call it dark, they call it somber, they call it deep. It's that deep sound. How would you describe the sound of the Montagnana?
I would call it more richer, and especially on the deeper strings. I think what really attracts me on a Montagnana is that I have this impression that these deep strings are like rolling. I don't know, this is something, it just, you know, it comes from, it doesn't come like a bird, beep, 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 but it comes from underneath, and it really covers the whole entire room where you are, and it touches you more. That's what I believe.
And I'm happy to say that the Montagnana does fit, the one that you get, Scala Perfetta, does fit in a basic cello case. It's a big issue because some of them are made on the wider side. Not all Montagnana copies. We have to all understand that these are copies of master instruments, but every maker from every country, everywhere, makes it slightly different. Some are super wide. And there's a great Chinese maker, Ming, that makes great cellos, and his Montagnana is just super wide. I like it, but it doesn't fit in my BAM cello case. I'm happy to say that the Montagnana that comes from your shop, the Scala Perfetta, does fit in a regular sized cello case. You can slap a name on something. Like this is a 1675 Ruggieri, which I'm proud to say that you made by hand. But just to call it that, like it's modeled after that, which you go online, you see a lot of these things, and they come from places like Romania and China, America, Europe, South America. But just to call it that isn't enough. What you're saying that the maker truly has to respect these little details, 8mm length differences, to understand the detail, all the little minutia that goes into making these instruments, and it makes a difference. And I have to tell you, it does make a difference. You have just a treasure trove of books behind you, where you have, and of course you live in Cremona, and you know, this is one thing I've want to ask people. Yeah, there's all those books up there. Is Edgar lives